So maybe you're doing amazing work as a leader. Maybe you're rocking it at work. Most of us really enjoy working. It's part of our identity as driven professionals. The challenge is, what does this do to our relationships? Do we have work-life balance? Are we happy? I have 3 tips for you when it comes to making sure that your relationships are healthy. For me, my story starts here. My spouse had said, "Hey, I hardly see you. You're really happy at work, but we don't have a connection here at home." I don't want that for you, so these 3 tips will hopefully help you have that work-life balance where your relationship remains a priority. Tip number 1, take the temperature. Are you having steady communication with your partner? Are you guys checking in with each other? Now we're talking romantic partner, spouse. Are we making sure that we're making time for them? Do they feel like they're important? Do they even get to see much of us? For my spouse, who's really understanding, he was like, "I see you an hour a day when you get home late at night after working a long day." And even then, I can't imagine he got me at my best. So tip number 1 is taking the temperature, having that active communication to say, are we okay? What do we need to change? What needs to shift? Are you happy? It can be a very powerful and vulnerable conversation to have, but it's important so you know where your partner stands, and really it can be a gauge of, are you doing okay with your work-life balance? So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, schedule quality time. I get it. A lot of us are trying to make date nights happen. We're trying to make that a thing. That can feel like a lot of effort. What about the in-between? If date night's happening once a month, what else can we do to create connection? Well, if we don't schedule it, it doesn't happen. So that's something to definitely name. If you have a busy schedule, you gotta X out some time for your partner or your spouse. What does that look like? Is there a hobby or activity that you enjoy? Maybe it's not elaborate like scheduling a date night. Maybe it's something more simple, like taking a walk together. Maybe you're walking and checking in on how the relationship is going, or asking about one another's day. Are there other things that you enjoy? Maybe it's taking a drive, visiting the mountains. Maybe it's cooking together, or something of that nature. Maybe you're both really creative, and so it's enjoyable to work alongside each other, doing something like painting, a puzzle. Maybe you build Lego together. Whatever it is, it can really bring connection. The challenge with quality time is what people define it to look like. So a lot of people think, oh, I'm in the room with them. Is that not quality time? I'm right here alongside. Quality time is about connection. So if you're on your laptop and they're watching a show, not really connecting. If you're writing a blog and they're reading a book next to you, not really connecting. So we want it to be something that's actively engaging for you both to feel connected to one another. Things like walks, taking drives, taking vacations. Maybe you visit the mountains for a weekend. Maybe you're going to a B&B to reconnect and rekindle some passion. Maybe you're painting or taking a class together, learning something new. I know for me, a cooking class, I'm not a cook, but my spouse loves cooking, and that was something that brought us closer together. We could laugh and enjoy it with each other. So I want you to get creative about how you can create quality time with each other. This is going to be super important for you to have that work-life balance. Final tip, tip number 3, know your edges with the Enneagram. In a previous video, I spoke about how the Enneagram can be life-changing, both at a work level and on a personal level. Knowing our edges, the challenges of our type, our personality type, and what we're gravitating towards can be super insightful. What's it like to know that we're prone to workaholism? What's it like to know that our relationships could suffer because of that workaholism, as just one example? So knowing your edges and knowing your partner's edges can be super important to reconnecting and making sure that both of you are feeling happy in that relationship. I hope these 3 tips are helpful for work-life balance. I know it's made all the difference in my relationship so that my relationship remains a priority in addition to my work, and I hope that they make your relationship feel more connected. Next month, when you're trying to schedule everything out, schedule in some quality time, check in with your partner, and find something to do together. It'll make all the difference for the relationship, and I think it'll make you both happier.